Okay, awesome. And then if you could just look into the lens.
Okay.
Okay. So can you please state your name?
My name is Roy Rogers.
Okay. Would you mind telling us your age?
I'm 64.
Awesome. When did you first come to San Diego?
I've been in San Diego most of my life. So I was born here in San Diego.
Nice, okay. So you were born in San Diego. What were your first impressions of San Diego? So I know you were born here, but what was it like for you when you were, growing up? And
Well, I've lived in Texas and Los Angeles, and so as far as having a comparison, San Diego's a little bit lower key than some of the other places that I've lived. You've run into a lot of different attitudes and situations here, and I like the city. I like the weather, the way that everything is laid out. Some of the attitudes and are varying, and you have to kind of adjust to those.
So you kind of touched upon it a little bit, but what did you dislike about it, or what do you dislike about San Diego?
I didn't like when I was down the south, the racial attitudes toward individuals. You kind of knew where you stood when you're down the south. Here, you got people that kind of, pretend to accept you, but then in the back of their minds, they have some racial attitudes against you, or they try to hinder you from accomplishing things, if they can get in the way, and I've seen that up close, and I've had experiences with it versus seeing if I was down in the south or something. The people are helpful, but then they also let you know where they stand.
So how easy was it to navigate San Diego when you were younger as opposed to now?
Well, when I was younger, the city was open. You had a lot of different areas that you could go to, a lot of different things. And as the city started developing, you kind of started being restricted in certain areas because of the economics. You couldn't, like some areas you could, when I was younger, you could move and be and afford to be in a lot of different areas, versus now, you kind of stagnant because you're limited financially to where you can be at, unless you have the money to afford it. And then there are some limitations in that too,
So what places do you go to now that you did not go to when you were younger?
Well, I go everywhere. I've never let anybody restrict me from moving around, and I was brought up to not be afraid to be in different environments, and so I never really found it a challenge to be around different people and in different situations, economically or culturally. I feel comfortable around everybody and anybody, and whether they like me or not.
So, how often do you come to the Serving Seniors?
Probably maybe 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay, so is this like your essential, like sort of senior center that you go to?
Well, they offer you the meals, and then I come up really to get on the Wi-Fi. I don't have a whole lot of data on my phones and computers, so you can come up here and it's free. They have computer centers. They also have other services, to help you, like with housing and the health thing. I haven't used that because I'm on doctors, but you have the TV that you can socialize with some of your friends here. So, it's a wide range of things that you can do. I've been to a couple other centers, and I in particular care for the environment. So I come up here and it's relaxed, and there's not a whole lot of confrontation going on. So that's my main reason for coming up here.
Yeah. So, and then the last question is, how would you improve San Diego?
They need to have go back to rent control and kind of cater to the the people that live here, because you got a large population here that can't really afford to be here. You know, they're driving the prices of everything up, and I mean, it's getting to a point where if that's one of the main things that I think that they should try to step in, and they used to have a rent control way back in, I think the 80s, and if they enforce something like that, then you know, would make a lot more affordable housing here. A lot of people are moving out because they can't afford to live here.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Can you ask his age?
Yes,
Oh,
we did.
okay.
Any other questions?
That's
Okay, that was great.
Yeah,
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.